What's going on, guys? It's me here, back again with another video. Today this video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to be explaining to you guys everything I've ever been through in my life. This is the first time I've done anything like this and put it on video, so it's going to be extremely emotional for me. So I really appreciate it if you guys hit that thumbs up button, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because this is what got me into the spiritual journey in the first place, and has a lot to do with why I even started this YouTube channel. Alright, first thing first, like, I got abused until I was 13 years old. You know, that took a huge toll on me as a kid. You know, like, I lost a lot of my confidence, you know, and it just pretty much knocked me down to my knees at a young age in life. And, like, I didn't have much strength coming out of that situation. And then, to make matters worse, my parents ended up getting divorced. But it was good because I stopped getting abused, because I wasn't around my stepdad anymore. But my mom was left with a lot of emotional baggage and scars. And you know, when somebody else hurt people. So I don't think she realized what she was doing to me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to go too much in depth in that, because I don't want to make her feel like a bad person. All right, the next thing that happened is my cousin was shot and killed, you know, while I was in high school. And like, he's always been my closest cousin. Like, all I can remember is growing up and, you know, being at his house all the time at a young age. And like, it was just somebody that I was really close to. And like, that was the first big loss in my life. And like, it really took a toll on me, due to the fact that that was one of the places I could go to get away from my stepdad and all the beatings, was over to my cousin's house to play and hang out with him. All right. After that happened, I ended up losing all my Division I scholarships to go play football at a bigger college because of concussions. And like, that really hurt me deep, because that was my only way out at the time. And like, that was the only way I seen myself actually doing something with my life. And you know, while all this was going on, my ex-girlfriend of 2 years, she broke up with me in the midst of all the pain and the things that I was going through. She left me. And you know, I was just in a state of like loneliness. You know, like the fact that all my scholarships were gone, people knew I wasn't going to college at that point. And then I lost a lot of friends. A lot of people didn't talk to me. You know, a lot of my family didn't respect me no more, because they had this identity that I was going to make it to the NFL and do something for them. So I was literally alone, and like, I didn't have anybody there for me. So I ended up getting on drugs, smoking weed, drinking, and you know, pretty much just went down a spiraling path. And just, it almost makes me want to cry now, but like, I'm gonna hold it together. You know, that was like one of the toughest times in my life, being alone, not having anybody there for me, not having anybody to help me pick my head up. And so I ended up getting an opportunity to go play football at Reedley College in California, and I got a full ride scholarship to Southeastern University. And I ended up getting kicked out. And the reason why is because I went to a party with my oldest brother, and he ended up giving me a drug called Molly. And I didn't take drugs at that point, like nothing like that. And like, so I ended up on the phone with my coach, and I was telling him, I was like, I took a drug, and like, I need your help to stay focused. Like, there's so many like negative distractions around me. I need your help to like keep me focused and on task. And he told each and every one of us, the beginning of like, before the whole school year started, he said, if you ever catch yourself in a tough situation or dealing with something that is tough in your life, please call me so I can help you. And so that's exactly what I did. I thought I can trust him. I thought he would be the person that could, you know, help me figure out what was going on and help me get out of that tough situation. But come to find out, you know, as I called him and talked to him the next day, he made me come in the office and take a drug test after I admitted to him everything that was going on. And he ended up kicking me off the team. And I really thought this was somebody that I can trust. So that basically, you know, broke my heart once again, and like, left me in a lonely place, because once again, my friends and family had this identity attached to me with football. So once football was gone again, like, I was back in this lonely place. So I ended up getting a job and started working for a couple years. It started with landscaping, then it eventually went to roofing and stuff like that. And it seemed to be every single job that I worked at, you know, I got used and abused, because like, I had such a strong work ethic. I was an athlete my whole life, and like, I would do more than what I was told. And so here's just the part of it that really got me. I was toting shingles up a roof, and one morning I came in and I see my truck. My truck was loaded from the front to the back of shingles. Like, there was no way one person was supposed to be doing that by themselves. And I would look at everybody else's truck and they would only have like 1 or 2 pallets of shingles. And I went to the office. I was like, am I supposed to do all these shingles by myself? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, are you using me or abusing me? He was like, either you do it or you fired. And I was like, I didn't understand, because like the mentality of, like everybody should be equal and everybody should, split up the work normally. It got to the point where I was doing majority of the work and nobody would say something. Everybody would turn a blind eye to it. And so, I ended up leaving that job and going to a landscaping job. And once again, I have such a strong work ethic and a good spirit when it comes to working and stuff like that. And so when I got into landscaping, it was the same thing. Like a couple weeks in, they seen how many yards I can do and like how quick I can get the job done and do it well. And before I knew it, I was doing over 20 to 30 yards a day when all the other crews was doing 10 or less yards a day. And so I talked to the boss man then and now. I was like, is there a reason why you're overworking me? Like, this doesn't make sense. Like, I'm not a slave. Like, I'm a human like everybody else. I get tired like everybody else. And every day I would come in, I would have all this work piled up on me. And they pretty much told me the same thing. You can either do the job or you can quit. And so I just sucked it up for a while. So I ended up buying my own house. I ended up buying a motorcycle, a S10. Like everything I ever had in my life, I had to work for it. Like, nobody ever gave me anything. And so I had all these things going for me. And like the one defining moment that really shaped my life is, I met this really cool guy at the hookah bar. And he was an amazing person. Like, we were there, we hung out, we both had street bikes. We met because of our street bikes. Well, as we were like leaving that night, I was going to take the usual route that I know home on the main road. And he was like, you should follow me. I know some back roads. I can help you get home quicker. I know a quicker way. And so I ended up following him. And crazy thing is, he ended up running off the road and hitting a tree head on. And he ended up dying right in front of me. And this is one of those moments that really, made me realize that I need to do something more in my life. Like, I keep going through these tough situations and everything's crashing down in my face. So I decided to go play football again. All right. And I left my home, I left my motorcycle, or I left my truck, and went to South Carolina from Florida. And I left everything for this opportunity. I gave it all up so I can go play football again. And come to find out, I got 3 games into the season. They guaranteed we were going to make money. And 3 games into the season, the coach was like, well, there's going to be no more football from this team because we ended up running out of the budget. And so nobody's going to get paid. And so that was really tough on me, because I left everything I had for that opportunity, and that coach completely cut all us in the back and like left us with nothing. So I had to figure out a way to get back home with no money in my pocket. And eventually I got back home, right? But I had to get some type of help at this point. Like, I went to a psychiatrist and they told me that, they did a couple tests on me, asked me a bunch of questions, and come to find out I had severe PTSD, severe anxiety, and depression. And it all made sense on why I felt the way that I felt. And like, I was such a closed off person, because I got to the point now I don't really trust people because so many people done me wrong. And it's like, when I got back home, the same thing happened again with my friends and family. Like, when I was out playing football, they would all comment on my social medias and, good job, I'm proud of you, I knew you were going to do big things, this, that, the other. And I got back home, nobody was there for me. Nobody was there for me. All right. And eventually, I was just walking down the road one day and I met an old classmate from high school who pretty much, he seen everything that I was going through. He pretty much brought me in. He was like well established, and he was trying to help me get back on my feet. And so he brought me in and stuff like that, and like we chopped it up. I actually started this YouTube channel at his house because he gave me the idea to start this YouTube channel. And you know, a couple weeks in, you know, he pretty much just gave up on me too. He was like, he told me, and like I was doing a lot of stuff. I was going door to door selling, you know, cups. I was, you know, I had a part-time job. You know, I was doing anything I could to hustle my way back into where I needed to be. But at the same time, I was training super hard to get back into football, to play football again, right? And basically, he just came to me one day and was like, "You got to find somewhere else to stay, bro. Like, I'm moving. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you got to find you somewhere to stay." And basically, like, I was homeless from this point. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up moving back into my mom's house. And, you know, this was the toughest thing that I've really been through, but my mom ended up kicking me out. When I got back, I was there for like a month or two, and she ended up kicking me out. And like, this was the toughest thing that I ever had to do, was getting kicked up by my mom. But luckily, I met this really amazing girl that I've been talking to almost a year now. I had to move in with her, and I had to live in her dad's garage. So from this point, when I was living in her dad's garage, you know, I had to work. I had a landscaping job. I was working, doing what I had to do to make money. And I eventually saved up enough money to buy me a dirt bike to get to and from the work. And the worst thing you can possibly think of happened. I was headed to work. You know, I just bought the bike. I didn't have enough money to buy a helmet, gloves, a jacket, or anything. I just had enough money to buy the bike, and so I was trying to get to and from work for like another week so I can get more stuff, like to make myself safe. But one morning, you know, I was driving to work and I got hit pretty much head on by a drunk driver, and I didn't have a helmet on, so that's how I gashed my eye up and stuff like that. I didn't have a helmet on, and you know, he fled the scene. So the police and everybody, like nobody was able to find him. So I was left with $24,000 worth of hospital bills that I'm in debt with right now to this day. And you know, this life has not been seeming fair to me, and like everything that I've been going through has just been knocking me down. And you know, I lifted myself back up again. You know, I worked hard, I went back to work, and I decided to give football another shot, right? And so there's this team called the RPFL that I showed you about. I got my highlights on the channel right now. I left Florida and drove all the way to Michigan to go play. And so I spent a couple $1,000s to get out there just to play, and the equipment fees were like $600, and everything that was going on was so expensive. So I left Florida to drive all the way to Michigan, and ended up, when I got there, you know, we played the full season and stuff like that, and they guaranteed everybody would make money. You know, they said it was a $1.1 million football incentive for a 4-year contract. I got there my first year. I balled out. I did amazing. You can even look at my highlights right now on this channel. I did amazing. Like, there was no way I shouldn't have got paid. And come to find out, like, the coaches were prejudiced against me. Like, they didn't pay me. You know, so I did all this stuff and ended up going all the way out there to get nothing in return. And so this really, really, really destroyed my spirit. And that really like took me for a loop. So now that's what brings me here to Arizona, where I'm living at now, until, you know, I go to Georgia. I got this bullfighting tryout. Like, I'm going to fight bulls, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have to make a name for myself. I have to do something to, you know, receive some type of glory, because I'm not a quitter, and everything that I've been through in my life is like just motivated me to keep going, because I can't give up now. All the stuff that I've been through, I'm the strongest person I know. I never met anybody that's been through anything close to what I've been through, and I'm only 25 years old. And so, to make matters worse, I found out one of my closest classmates, like, you know, we played baseball together. You know, like, we would always be at friends' house together. Like, literally one of the closest friends I ever had. Like, at some point, he even, like, let me come over here and cut his yard to make some money, because I had a little landscaping business going on. And he let me come over to cut his yard. And, you know, like, just a great friend. Found out he died in an accident. And that really shook me up. But to make matters worse, a couple months later, my little brother died. He was my stepbrother. It was my stepdad's son, but we were the two youngest in the house. So we were always the closest. We always spent the time together the most. And so I found out that he died, and I'm out here in Arizona, and I missed his funeral. I couldn't go to his funeral. And so everything that I've been through in my life up to this point has been the hardest thing that you can ever possibly think of. And, like, I'm finally to the point where it's like, you know, that's why I'm getting into bullfighting. You know, it's just like to show that everything in my life that I've been through ain't gonna break me. Everything that I've been through in my life was just a test to show how strong I was. And, like, this is just a testimony to you, to show you that everything that you've been through, you know, there's always somebody going through worse. And I'm sure there's people going through worse than what I'm going through right now. But I just want to be a light. I want to be, you know, I want to be motivational to somebody who's going through a tough time, and just let you know and realize that you can keep going, and everything's going to be okay. All right? So if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you share this video. Because somebody needs to see this message. And if the right person sees this message, it can really help me get my testimony out there. And, like, I'm really here to make a difference in this world. All the things that I've been through is for a reason. And I continue to get up every day and try to make a way, try to provide for myself and my family and, you know, the people that I care about. So until the next video, you guys take it easy. Peace.